I was excited for a weekend of peace at the lake house. This week had been so hard at work. I had been working overtime to close a few cold cases. That was the way it began. Then my friend Julie called and all that changed. There was a girl that had gone missing in the town. The local police thought she was a runaway, but Julie didn't think so. She felt like something was going on. I wondered what was going on in this little town. What happened to this girl? She was close to my age. What happened to her? My mind began to race. I knew I had to help her. I had to find her. It took me a minute to even realize that my phone was ringing. I answered. "Catch me if you can," the voice on the other end of the phone said. "Who is this?" "Catch me if you can," the voice repeated. Then the line went dead. A chill went up my spine. I shivered, trying not to think of where she might be or what might be happening to her right now. A few hours later, I met Julie outside the store where the girl had disappeared from. Julie and I exchanged quick greetings. As kids, we had loved playing detectives together. Both of us had an interest in crime. We went around back to find the missing girl's car. There were definitely signs of a struggle here. The driver's side door was open and one of the windows was smashed in. Broken glass littered the ground, stained red with blood drops, and the contents of her purse were spilled all over the ground. Fresh leaves and broken branches adorned the path a few feet from the car, and they came to an abrupt end at the other end of the parking lot. Julie and I looked closer at the broken shards of glass. I dusted them for fingerprints as well as the window and door handles. I went back to my car and we ran the prints. We got 4 hits from the DMV. One set belonged to the missing girl, Missy Sams. The others belonged to Bo Jones, Mike Stanfield, and Julie. I look at Julie. She explains that she was out with Missy and a few other women last week. Missy had had a hard day and then had too much to drink, so she gave Julie her keys. Julie drove her home. That's also why the police think she might have run away instead of being taken. Missy has a bit of a party reputation. Okay, that makes sense. Looking around the scene further, we found a man's broken necklace with symbol of the local high school and a football charm on it. Maybe this has something to do with it. Could it be that Missy ripped this off of one of her attackers? I was so distracted thinking about how we had to find her. My heart was racing so much thinking about how scared she must be. I almost didn't notice what was on my windshield. I find a single purple rose and a note on my windshield. The note read, "Catch me if you can." I put the rose and the note in my car. They are taunting me now. My hands are shaking, but I am more determined than ever to help Missy and am not going to let the guys stop me. My thoughts are interrupted when someone from the store comes out and says that they saw Bo Jones in the store hassling Missy a few days ago. They had an argument. I asked for more information about Bo and found out they used to date. They had been high school sweethearts, and he played high school football. I asked Julie if she knew where Bo lived. She did, so we headed to my car. Inside my car, we found a box on the seat. Black roses covered the top of the box, along with a note that read, "Stop looking for her or you will regret it." There was tape on the box, and then we noticed the most horrifying thing yet as the box began to move. It rocked from side to side and back and forth. The noises coming from the box were more terrifying. It began to hiss. Unshakable terror seized my entire body. My heart felt like it was going to explode. My breathing grew faster and my hands were shaking uncontrollably. Julie was having a similar reaction. I took a deep breath, steadied my hands, and opened the box. We were greeted by a severed but still flailing head of a rattlesnake. Julie and I smashed the snakehead with a shovel and then take a few minutes to compose ourselves. We've got to find her, and time is running out. We looked down and noticed a tag that fell out of the box for Stanfield Farms. I wonder if that tag could be connected to Mike Stanfield, the prints that we found on the car. I guess we should check out Stanfield Farms first, maybe. Then we can go check on Bo. Julie gave me directions to the farm. The fence was broken, and this didn't look like a normal farm. The buildings and cages looked really weird. I went to the front door and knocked. I spoke to Mike Stanfield. We discovered that they milk rattlesnakes there to make anti-venom. It sells for a lot of money and the supply is short. They also sell strawberries, apples, and cattle. It was an odd choice for a product, but it did move him up on the suspect list. Mike claimed he was out sick from work at the time of the abduction. He showed them a note from the free clinic in town. Julie and I then left and went to check on Bo and see where he was. Bo was not at his house, but his brother said he might be at the local tavern, so we headed over there. He was there and not really in the mood to talk. He admitted they had a fight, and I noticed the cuts on his hands. When I asked him about it, he said they were from a bar fight. He did seem like the type, but those cuts could have also come from the struggle in the parking lot. During the time of the kidnapping, Bo claims he was at a friend's house, but his friends acted like they had no idea what we were talking about. Two suspects, both with flimsy alibis and both with evidence pointing them to the crime scene and placing them at the kidnapping. Leaving the tavern, we were debating what to do next when we came outside to an unexpected and macabre surprise. My car was covered in wilted strawberries, apples, and a ghastly sight. Bright, sticky blood drained down from the roof of my car. There was a half-beaten cow head on the very top. The head looked as if it had been severed cleanly, as if by a professional. I had never seen anything like it. This time we called the local police for backup. The local police also happened to be helpful in helping me answer another question. Why would Stansfield be after Missy? It turns out that years ago the two families got into a land dispute. The Stansfields felt like Missy's family charged them way too much for it, causing them to lose a great deal of the acreage a few years later when the stock market crashed. It seemed like Mike was a leading suspect, but usually when things are wrapped up too neatly, there is something amiss. The police took pictures and our statements. They dropped us at Julie's car and we thought about what to do. If Mike is too neat a suspect, where would Bo hang out? The gym? The high school? Football field? Let's check the high school. We made it to the high school in record time. The football field was huge. Julie started at one end and I started at the other. The plan was to meet in the middle. However, the announcer's voice interrupted our thoughts. I heard, "Leave now and you can live." At least we picked the right suspect, I thought. This is confirmation. I quickened my pace as I looked around. The sun was going down and I could feel that Missy was running out of time. I thought, where would he take her? The only building I could see was the snack shack on the far side of the field. That's where my instincts said to go, so that's where I headed. As I got closer to the shack, I could hear screaming and maniacal laughter. By this time, Julie has caught up with me. I take out my knife and she takes out her pepper spray. We set off an air horn we had found outside as a distraction to get Bo's attention. The distraction is enough for us to get inside. Julie sprays Bo with the pepper spray and I force him to the ground and subdue him. We turn him over to the police and get Missy medical attention. She has scratches that match the ones on Bo's face and the astroturf under her nails. The case is solved. Missy is safe now. Bo had wanted her back and she had rejected him. He couldn't handle the rejection, so he had taken her and tried to frame Mike for it. As I drove home, I was glad for this case to be over. So ready for a hot bath, a glass of wine, and a good night's sleep. However, that was not to be. I had another surprise greeting me on my front porch when I arrived home. A vase with a dozen purple roses, which are my favorite, and a note that read, "Hello." As I'm trying to fall asleep, the question is running through my mind. Who are these from? Is this sweet, or do I have a problem?